Welcome to This Week in Astrology for October 1 through 15, 2024. I'm sorry to be so late, but I live in Western North Carolina, have been affected by Hurricane Helene, and am doing the best I can under the circumstances. The next episode should arrive on schedule. A harmonious Grand Sextile, Jupiter retrograde, and Pluto direct highlight the first half of October. I already interpreted the Libra solar eclipse in my special episode for October 2nd. We also have Jupiter sextile Chiron, a wealth and power-boosting T-square, and 4 more powerful aspect patterns. Thanks so much for joining me. I'm your host, Benjamin Bernstein. I record these forecasts as an audio podcast and a video, so take your pick. The video version includes detailed chart graphics, which you can also see in my written forecasts at astroshaman.com, and there are plenty of them this time. Be sure to subscribe to This Week in Astrology in your preferred app, and if you haven't already, be sure to click the link in the show notes for 2 chances to win a free Astrology Plus session with me each month. Look for timestamps in the show notes so you can jump right to the day you want. As of October 7th, the day I'm posting this episode, the moon is waxing. We have 5 retrograde planets and 5 continuing aspect patterns. See details and links to all this in the show notes. I am going to mention some previous days, however, only because the aspect patterns being mentioned are still in effect. Wednesday, October 2nd, learning, teaching, writing, communication. These are all fired up by a T-square with Mercury, Mars, and Chiron. It started on October 2nd, peaks on the 7th, and ends on the 14th. All these opportunities arrive courtesy of Mercury. Mars fires them up, while this placement in Cancer can help you harmoniously join your heart and mind. Chiron can help you get wisdom from a guide or help you act as an advisor. If emotional trauma is getting stirred up, this planetary trio can help you understand it more clearly. With Mercury in Libra, you can also give special focus to harmonious relating or creative writing. On Friday, October 4th, what happens when you take the Mercury-Mars-Chiron T-square that started on the 2nd, but replace Mercury with the Sun? This Sun-Mars-Chiron T-square shifts the focus from your mind to the core of your identity. This T-square is more likely to stir up old traumas, so have a quick and effective emotional healing technique ready to go. Such emotional pain is a wounded part of you crying out to be healed. Once you do, you'll be automatically catapulted to new heights of spiritual awakening. With the Sun in Libra, this is a great time to evaluate your friendships. Should you make new connections? Get closer with an existing friend? Do some relationships need healing or release? This T-square can also fire up your creative productivity. With Chiron in the mix, this is also a great time to work with a wise teacher to refine your craft or help someone improve theirs. This aspect pattern overlaps with the Mercury-focused T-square for most of its run. This Sun-Mars-Chiron T-square starts today on the 4th, peaks on the 14th, and ends on the 23rd. On Saturday, October 5th, selfless service to a worthy cause is harmoniously boosted by a kite with Vesta and the 3 outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. What worthy causes are you inspired to support? You have over a month of amplified energy to do so, as the 3 gods of change support the asteroid goddess Vesta. This kite begins on the 5th, peaks on the 23rd, and ends on November 8th. These planets are also part of the Grand Sextile that starts on the 10th. I'll be telling you about that later in this episode. On Sunday, October 6th, Vesta is also a featured player in a double Yod key that starts on the 6th, peaks on the 10th, and ends on the 14th. This aspect pattern is made of 2 linked Yods, a pattern also known as a finger of God. Its planets are Venus, Vesta, Jupiter, and Chiron. Selfless service to a higher cause is once again highlighted by Vesta. Teaming up with someone as you support this worthy cause is suggested by Venus. Since Venus is the artist, your contribution might be creative. Jupiter is the wisdom giver, while Chiron is the wise mentor. Could it be that you'll serve by sharing helpful insights? On Monday, October 7th, that T-square with Mercury, Mars, and Chiron that started on the 2nd peaks today on the 7th and ends on the 14th. On Wednesday, October 9th, Jupiter turns retrograde at 3:05 a.m. EDT. That's at 21 degrees, 20 minutes Gemini. Jupiter will turn direct again in about 4 months on February 4th of 2025. That'll be at 11 degrees Gemini. As Jupiter starts retracing his steps, it's a great time to contemplate his themes. Jupiter has more meanings than any other planet, so pick the ones that carry the most resonance for you. Higher education, formal or self-guided as a student, acting as a professor, philosopher, guru, or other wisdom giver, foreign travel and influences, religion, philosophy, and the meaning of life, living life as a quest or adventure, and enjoying celebration, euphoria, and enthusiasm. Endlessly expansive Jupiter is the planet most likely to overdo things, so be careful not to get too many irons in the fire. Jupiter can also falsely believe it has the one true way, so don't succumb to street corner preacher syndrome. Jupiter retrogrades entirely within Gemini, so this is also a great time to reflect on your learning, writing, teaching, and overall communication. On Thursday, October 10th, one of astrology's most rare and harmonious aspect patterns starts today on the 10th. This Grand Sextile peaks on the 15th and ends on the 22nd. It contains Venus, Mars, and Vesta, as well as the gods of change, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. As noted above, this aspect pattern contains the kite created by Vesta and the 3 outer planets. This Grand Sextile is the third aspect pattern containing Vesta this month, further reinforcing her theme of selfless service to a worthy cause. The new players are Venus and Mars. These classic planets of feminine and masculine energy can open you to deeper harmony in important relationships. They can also team up to energize artistic creativity. With Vesta between them, can your relating or creating somehow support your selfless service? Pluto offers you wealth, power, and charisma. Neptune contributes divine consciousness and inspiration, while Uranus can guide you with intuitive hits. These 3 outer planets also act as potent energizers. 80% of this pattern's aspects are harmonious, so you'll have plenty of easy-flowing juju to empower this Grand Sextile's possibilities. Also, on Thursday, October 10th, the double Yod key with Venus, Vesta, Chiron, and Jupiter that started on the 6th peaks here on the 10th and ends on the 14th. I'll have the rest of the forecast, including Pluto turning direct and Jupiter sextile Chiron, right after this message. My book's new 5-star Amazon review, posted by Deniz Pat, is titled Praiseworthy Practice to Integrate in Your Life. Deniz wrote, quote, "The technique and general practice introduced can help you connect, integrate with your higher self, but do so with many other things, so many. I deepened my voice in minutes. I put myself to sleep. I made myself happy. Just be creative and eager to work with this." End quote. My #1 bestseller is called Instant Divine Assistance, your complete guide to fast and easy spiritual awakening, healing, and more. If you like to listen, my audiobook is free if you're not yet an Audible member. Instant Divine Assistance is also available as an ebook, paperback, and hardcover. Click a link in the show notes to check it out on Audible or Amazon, or read it in Kindle Unlimited. Back to the forecast. On Friday, October 11, Pluto turns direct today at 22 degrees, 29 minutes Capricorn. He turned retrograde on April 25th, around 25 Capricorn. This is a great time to start taking action on Pluto themes. Here's a recap. One of Pluto's main themes is death and rebirth. It's like the phoenix burning to ash, then resurrecting out of the flames. It's like a snake shedding its skin. And it's like a caterpillar melting down to goo in its chrysalis, then emerging as a gorgeous butterfly. What's dying in your life right now? Have you been engaged in a job, relationship, or other commitment that doesn't feed your soul? This is an ideal time to step into a new and better reality, one you can embrace with excitement and enthusiasm. Pluto also rules shadow work, embracing and working consciously with the wounded parts of your psyche. What attitudes, habits, and emotional wounds are blocking your happiness and stopping the fulfillment of your dreams? Some people fear it will take a lot of energy to do psychological self-healing, but it actually takes a lot more energy over a much longer period of time to keep pushing your shadow material back into the depths. The greatest suffering often comes not from the emotional wound itself, but from the huge effort needed to keep sweeping it under the rug. Thousands have found my free healing invocation quick and effective for shadow work. That's linked in the show notes, or you can go to astroshaman.com/invocations. Pluto also represents wealth and power. We often associate wealth with money, but wealth is actually anything you value, tangible or intangible. Pluto turning direct is a great time to increase wealth. Is it money, free time to pursue your passions, deepening a relationship, holding a certain state of consciousness, maybe playtime with your child? Regarding power, there's two basic types. Power over involves domination and control. Power with involves sharing power freely with others. This is easiest when you've tapped into the limitless wellspring of your own divine power. The potency of Pluto's direct station is boosted by his harmonious aspects with Neptune and Uranus. This further amplifies all your Pluto potentials. On Saturday, October 12th, one of 2024's most important aspects, Jupiter sextile Chiron, aligns at 3:34 a.m. EDT. Jupiter is at 21 Gemini, Chiron is at 21 Aries. This is in orb, which means close enough to connect energetically, August 7 of 2024 through January 27 of 2025, with a second sextile on November 2nd of 2024. It's in orb again in 2025, early March through late June, with a final sextile on May 18 of 2025. So this thing is lasting a long time. These planets share similar meanings. Chiron is the mentor, while Jupiter is the professor, philosopher, or guru. So both planets support you in giving or receiving wisdom, and Jupiter is especially keen on insights from other cultures. This is a wonderful time to expand your knowledge where it counts or share your insights with others. Chiron is the wounded healer. His expansion by Jupiter can trigger your unhealed traumas, so it's important to have an effective self-healing technique ready. As I mentioned, my free healing invocation has proved its effectiveness for over 13 years with thousands of people. It delegates the healing work to your higher self. All your ego has to do is passively receive it. Many have reported the permanent healing of debilitating emotional traumas, sometimes in a single self-guided session. Again, you can learn more about that in the show notes or going to astroshaman.com/invocations. Jupiter's placement in Gemini amplifies your opportunities for learning, teaching, writing, and communication. Chiron rules mentorship, so this can be a great time to go deeper with your learning or teaching opportunities. Also, on Friday, October 11, a new aspect pattern offers almost 3 weeks of empowerment opportunities. This Sun-Mars-Pluto T-square starts on the 12th, peaks on the 19th, and ends on Halloween, the 31st. Mars can help you step out as a warrior, pioneer, sexual being, or entrepreneur. His placement in Cancer can help you act with potent emotional intensity. Pluto can boost your wealth, power, and charisma. He rules sacred sex, which can let you and your lover blend your energy bodies for dramatically enhanced ecstasy. A T-square is a hard aspect pattern, so you may also experience some challenge. The lower expressions of Mars and Pluto include domination, abuse, and violence. Try to steer clear of people in situations where this is more likely. Make sure all sexual activity is consensual and serves everyone's highest good. On Sunday, October 13th, we have 3 events. First, Mars squares Chiron at 4:36 p.m. EDT, Mars 21 Cancer, Chiron 21 Aries. This can stir up old traumas, but can also empower your service as a healer or wisdom giver. This square is also part of the 2 T-squares I interpreted earlier in this episode, featuring Mercury and the Sun. Second up, today's Sun-Chiron opposition is part of the T-square with Sun, Mars, and Chiron that peaks tomorrow, in which I already interpreted in this episode. Finally, a Sun-Jupiter trine is a welcome bright spot among more challenging aspects. It can help you feel more expansive and joyful and fill you with more hope and optimism. With the Sun in Libra, this trine can also smoothly amplify your relationships and creativity. On Monday, October 14, the T-square with Sun, Mars, and Chiron that started on October 4th peaks today on the 14th and ends on the 23rd. And on Tuesday, October 15th, the Grand Sextile that started on the 10th peaks today on the 15th and ends on the 22nd. It includes Venus, Mars, Vesta, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. Also, would you like to speed up your healing and awakening as part of an uplifting community of dedicated awakeners like you? Then check out Awakening Plus, the affordable online membership that can put your personal transformation into high gear. You can choose from about 15 Zoom calls every month, as well as an ever-expanding archive of more than 700 events, actually more than 725 now, that can profoundly change your life. You'll also benefit from 3 major courses and much more to help you awaken, heal, and thrive. By the way, I just dropped the cost of membership by 33%. This makes Awakening Plus an even more extraordinary value. To find out more, click the link in the show notes or visit awakeningplus.com. That's awakeningplus.com. Thanks for being here. Once again, I'm Benjamin Bernstein with astroshaman.com. I can serve you with astrology readings, shamanic healing, and one-of-a-kind life coaching. All my one-on-one services are equally effective in person or long distance, which is how most people do it. And as I mentioned, I run the Awakening Plus online membership for spiritual support. You can learn all about this and more at astroshaman.com. Please reach out if you have any questions. My email is benjamin@astroshaman.com, and my number for voice and text is 828-338-9852. I'd love to connect with you. We're wrapping it up. Please leave me a 5-star rating, review, or comment wherever you're getting this episode to help others discover it. And finally, let me remind you about my once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to transform your life with an auspicious Gods of Change astrology alignment. There's a very good chance that the most auspicious window of opportunity of your entire life is opening right now. So click the link in the show notes to learn more, or go to astroshaman.com/special. Thanks again for spending this time with me. I wish you infinite blessings as the stars light your way.